Good morning, guys. Welcome to another breakdown slash prediction of Mayans MC Season 3, Episode 8. Welcome. Good morning, Taylor. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
So, like we predicted quite a bit, and some predictions have come true in this episode. And then I also predicted this was going to be a slower paced episode, and that came true. Before we get started, so just let you guys know, Fog Entertainment. He has a YouTube channel. He's a great commenter on here. He's a great subscriber. He put out the season 3. He has a video talking about season 3 ratings. So if you guys are interested in that, I have the link in the comment section, so you guys can click on that after the cast. We will be talking about the ratings. We will be talking about the future of the show at the end of our breakdown slash prediction of this episode. So stay tuned for that. But let's dive into the episode, the meat and potatoes. Taylor, I think we should start because there was just a little hint of it, but it seems like we're going to be pushing forward after this episode, continuing the civil war of the Mayans. We are, I mean, Ibarra lost his cut. Bishop has a plan. Bishop calls Easy, tells him that, kid, be ready because this is a new chapter, a new step forward. So, what were your overall? What was your thoughts on the episode, and then what is your thoughts on moving forward with the Civil War and taking out Conchi?
I was leaning back and forth on a 7 and an 8, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
landing on a 7 just because it was a little bit slower paced. There was a lot of predictable plots, not just from you, Dan, but a lot of the people on the who have been
Yes,
attending our restreams.
shout
Yeah,
outs.
lots of
Yes,
people. We got Tyler. I think there was someone named
Milo.
yeah, Milo, and then there was a gentleman called Caden Kaiser, or maybe I'm messing their name up, probably. But you guys got to hand it to you because you guys got some predictions correct as well. I thought that Coco was gonna be alive, and he is. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that. He's not dead yet.
Nope.
Um, Overall, the plan going into the Civil War. So I think one of the weaknesses the show has is hitting a plot hard for 2 episodes and then taking a break and
Absolutely agree.
returning to it. So
Mm-hmm.
in real life, that momentum doesn't slow down.
Yes.
So I do have an issue with the pacing. But when it comes down to like Ibarra losing his patch, I'm glad that he's not dead. It sucks for
Yes.
him that he
Yes.
lost his patch, but that's neither here nor there. He's still with us, so that's great. And they are just, hey, one king, one tribe. We're done with all of this crap.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it and have Bishop be the one king. And I'm expecting more Mayans to die, unfortunately, but hopefully not on the Santo Padre side.
So I said in my review that I wanted time to think about like what my true rating is going to be, and I came to the conclusion that this episode was still, to me, a 7.5 out of 10. I gave it a little bit more, but it's 7.5 for me. You're absolutely right. Like, and realistically, and if I'm the showrunner, I'm like, keep the momentum, right? Keep the momentum going, because that's the one. There's too many storylines going on. They're not handling that very well, unless they are expecting another season. Lead having storylines, because I don't see Adelita storyline concluding. You still have Potter. You still have. I mean, Miguel seems to be going full force right now. The Civil War should be there should be more episodes on the Civil War and just this crazy thing that Paulo is planning to.
Yeah.
SOA involved, like looking for Montez, like so many
Seriously,
things.
no one gave a crap about Montez and where he was.
No,
You have
no.
a full patch member missing, and everyone's cool with it, I guess.
So for me, we'll be talking about the ratings and how I was cool with a lot. Like I think a lot of storylines this season is going to be tied up really nicely, and but I also said that there's going to be storylines that might head into next season if they do get a next season, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the Civil War stuff, I do like how glad Ibarra's alive. He's awesome. I I like how they said that Conchi's like rallying up the troops, and the plan is to send them under because it's the weather's pretty nice down there. Send them under before it gets out of control. Like it's
Yeah.
getting his plan is for he still has the drugs, so he's not even giving the drugs out yet because he's trying to be the hero. He's trying to look like he's the hero when things are getting worse in the prison. If you guys caught that, so this episode,
Yeah.
you really needed subtitles because I think a lot of people were confused with a lot of the things that were said in here. I'll get to the thing. Somebody said that they thought that maybe when Bishop called Easy at the end of this episode, and he said this is going to be a new like chapter, a new. He's basically saying this is a new step forward. That doesn't mean he was going to have Easy run another chapter. It just meant like they're pushing for like what he said in previous episodes. They're going to that outlaw shit. They're moving forward with Bishop being the king. So Easy, I don't believe is getting in a chapter. That's not what he was trying to say. So reading the subtitles and seeing the contents of it, that wasn't it. It was just kind of like Bishop telling Easy, "Be ready, kid, because this was your game, and we're gonna finish it with Kachi. We're gonna kill him
Conchi,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna kill him off. We're gonna end this because it's it's kind of like a Game of Thrones thing. If you kill Cersei, the war's over, or if you just defeat all of her army, the war's over. So that's kind of the same thing, except I don't know why I keep bringing Game of Thrones.
It's
So
inevitable.
yeah, so I get that context. I think the Civil War. You're absolutely right, though, Taylor. It's like it was barely like there was just talking of it. There wasn't anything going on with it, really, honestly. And you're right. Like the momentum would still continue. They're still in the war. I'm actually surprised that Angel did not even tell that to Gabby. Like, you think the fucking Golden Boy is gonna have
Oh
kids and
yeah.
stuff? We're in the war, lady. We're in the war, baby.
That
Like
was an
I
interesting scene too.
so I was so the Civil War aspect we probably won't get any more until next episode, and then of course the season finale is probably gonna hit it hard. What do you think the whole Paulo going to was it El Baqueria? The
I couldn't pronounce that name very well,
I'm gonna
but
call him
he's
LB.
the leader of the Lobo Sonora new generation.
Hmm.
So I'm confused at really what he's trying to do. So he made it all the way up to kill Montez, leave the body in front of Taza, didn't do anything to Taza. Then he
Yeah.
comes all the way back down to Tijuana, and now he's trying to meet with this new cartel leader and try to make a deal with him. And we already
Hmm.
have seen that this guy is tougher than Miguel. I mean, they showed us the yellow raincoat Miguel in season 1, and then he just turned into a tame little bear, like, circus
Yeah.
bear, and didn't really do anything. But this guy, I mean, he seems like the real kind of deal, you know what I mean? So it's
I
kind
thought
of
he was
ballsy of
great.
Paulo. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. It's kind of ballsy of Paulo to go there, and the deal he has is wrapped in revenge with a side of, hey, I can give you Miguel's territory. So I'm not knowing like how I like that plot yet. We'll see.
Yeah, it seems like they're throwing I guess that's a little bit of the twist, right? That we're kind of it's a little twist, like Paulo's plan that he's doing. It's very
Mhm.
confusing. Like
Oh, Spanish speakers are helping us. The banker.
the
Thank you.
banker, huh? You know what, guys? When they introduced, like when Paulo was there and he said his name, the one thing that took me back was like El Bucho, Desperado. I'm looking for a man named Bucho. Like that's what it took me back to. Um, I like the guy though, the banker. I like the. I thought he stole a little bit of the scenery there. I liked how he's just like telling him like you got to cut like slow, the body up and stuff.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of Scarface. So, but so we get more here. So if we're talking about Paulo, which he's finally in this episode, just for a little bit, I thought it was pretty funny that he drops Montez's body off and then he goes to Mexico, Tijuana.
Yeah. Just straight up U-turns. Like,
He
all right,
yes,
hang on. I got an appointment to make.
he seems where's his because he's still at the cop car. Like where? Damn, how is he getting to all these places? He must smell. And the guy tells him you smell like
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought me back to when you talked about Coco and how you needed a shower. And
Seriously.
hope and hope. So if we're going to talk about Paulo, so remember all this started because of Taza. So we finally learn, and
Yes.
shout outs to all you guys who called it. We finally
Yeah.
learned that Taza's backstory and the whole deal of why this rivalry is and what happened. And we find out that he was in love with David. You know,
Yep.
they were together, and Paula's sister. Shoots, I have it down right here. Paulo. No, no, no. Sorry.
Palo sister.
Paulo's sister. What is her name? Her name is Laura. So
Hmm.
Laura, which Taylor, that is so shocking that Laura is a sister of Paulo, because she don't look nothing like him. Honestly, well, maybe a little bit, I
She
guess.
got the good half of the genetics.
She definitely got the good half. She's a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But I actually really love that scene because first of all, the dialogue, the exchange, it's
Hmm.
not where like one blamed the other. Taza straight out tells her like, "You're
Yeah.
not to blame. You were a kid, and I'm not to blame. This is not on our hands." But the question is, a lot of commenters said that, hey, how the hell did Taza get out of that scuffle then? Like, how did Paulo killed
Well, I
David?
can kind of elaborate
Yeah.
on that a little
Oh yeah,
bit
go
because
for it.
now
Go
the
for it.
pieces have fallen together. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, is it Kaba? I'm really bad at pronouncing. I really like that Taz's sexuality was really organic in the story.
Yes, I absolutely
Yes,
yes, I absolutely
such
said that.
an
Yes.
organic way for that huge reveal to come out. And you can just see how it's affected his past and
Mm-hmm.
like kind of you kind of understand the guy a little bit more now. Um
Sympathetic. You get a little bit more sympathetic towards him.
yeah, cuz I
Yeah.
leaned forward in in my couch and I was like, "Wow, that's why he killed Riz." That was really the reason why he felt he had to kill Riz, and that
Mm-hmm.
just falls all together
Mm-hmm.
naturally. And it's not like shoved in your face or like any like weird like way. You really just feel for Taza as a character and it
Yeah.
makes so much more sense. So I like how they made that happen. Like I understand his motivations now because when he made the decision to kill Riz, it was a lot. We already knew that there was a lot of personal stuff. Like he
Mm-hmm.
had some kind of stick against Paolo. We know that Taza, when he was younger, he used to be a member of the VM,
Yeah.
right, in Tijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And he said a couple things in season 2, like, and Creeper was talking with him about it at the same time. Was there like a falling out with the shot caller? And Taza was like, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that Taza and David were in a relationship, and
Yes.
Paulo found out about it and killed his own little brother.
He
I guess
found
as
out
like,
about
yeah,
it by Laura. Laura told
yes.
Paulo. Yeah.
So this killing of his own little brother for his relationship with Taza, and that explains why Taza fled the VM to get
Mm-hmm.
out of there to save his own life because he would have gone for him next.
Oh yeah. Which is kind of surprising though that he doesn't still go. I guess didn't still go after him after all this time because he knows that he's part of the Mayans.
Yeah.
So and so it's that's an interesting aspect. A lot of people didn't understand how Paulo could kill his own brother for just being gay. You gotta and just to tell you guys, like that's just kind of like the Mexican culture sometimes. Like they, I have a brother who is gay, and the my dad's from Mexico, so his side of the family just kind of doesn't understand. There's so many stories out there when it comes to like the Mexican heritage and then the past and stuff. A lot of Mexican families don't agree with stuff like this. So you take a psychopath like Paulo and the anger he probably had. I mean, I could totally see him killing his own brother just because he was gay, which is unbelievable, man. You killed your own blood
Yeah.
just because of something, just who he is. So it really did make me sympathetic for Taza. You
Yeah.
understand that and then he tells Laura, no, like Laura's like, have you told the club? Which I think Bishop knows. I mean, how does he not know? Or some maybe I think Bishop would know this, but he tells her like, nah. And then I haven't really found anybody
Yeah.
else because I don't want anybody else getting hurt. You know, I had one love.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I see when I watch this part of his character unfold. I mean, for me in my life, I don't know anybody who would consider killing somebody for their sexuality. So it's like hard for me to wrap my mind around why someone would do that. So to see how much it affected him, and like he's hiding it from his club, he
mm-hmm.
hasn't found anyone else. So you're just like, you've watched him for now almost 3 seasons.
Yeah.
We're getting almost to the end of 3 seasons. Just internalize who he is
I think
and
he's
not be able to be himself.
I think he's gotten the biggest like character development all these 3 seasons. Taza has become like a character you kind of sit and you watch and you're intrigued by and interested, and now you know more of. You know, I think this episode definitely dealt with a lot of like like social issues, right? Or a lot of just things
Yeah.
showcasing race,
Yeah.
showcasing sexuality. So they
Drug
really
addiction. Like there's
drug
just like so
addiction
many different
in this
yeah.
episode, which I absolutely noticed. So that was a great scene. So, but here's the thing, guys: Taza still killed Riz. Taza still hid Montez's body. So if you don't think, and then when she gives him David's like cross, two things I look at that Taylor. Either when he got that cross, somehow people, the club is going to find out about Riz's death by maybe Taza confessing in some circumstance. Something may happen, or he may feel guilty. And he's like finally going to confess, or two, because he got that cross. That's usually a death sentence to a lot of characters of getting something sentimental. The dude is probably going to bite the dust at the end of the season. There has to be, right? There has to be a confrontation between
Yeah.
him and Paulo at the end of the season. Like it would make no sense if there was no confrontation, especially with after this episode and us finally knowing what the reason is. Like, and then having Paulo in the same episode, we have to have confrontation. I believe that's what I believe, Taylor.
I could see, instead of Taza like confess, bringing that out to the MC, I could almost see him being like, okay, if I'm gonna, I have to take care of Paulo, and if I'm gonna die doing it, then that's justice for David.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would have died trying to make that right, or he's gonna succeed and he's gonna kill Paulo and and make that right his own. But Laura handing him the cross really seemed to be an act of like, look, I forgive you, and
yes,
like she has no hard feelings towards him. Ricky said something that's really interesting as well. Remember, Isaac said there were two things that I have to scroll down on here.
Go for it.
Where'd you go, Ricky?
Diego Martinez says he killed Riz and he's got to go.
Right here. Isaac said there are two things an MC member can get killed for: homosexuality behavior and drug use. So yeah, I don't think it's misplaced to have a character like Isaac making comments like that, and then to have the reveal about Taza, because not only does that add to the the explanation of David, but it does make you fear for Taza. Like, what if Paulo outs Taza to the MC? Like, I would hate to see that kind of dynamic.
I don't think so, because the dude could have outed the Mayans MC with Montez. Could have sent a little crow to the SOA, Sam Crow.
I mean, he was probably hoping that they would all find it, but Taza was able to take care of it. He spent all night packing that body in a barrel of salt. So
I felt like that was just a mind game.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
I
true.
definitely felt like that was a mind game. Paulo likes his little mind games, even though he's like cold, stone faced. I feel like he's an Uno champion. Maybe he likes his games. So yeah, that was a really good plus on that part. Let's get to some comments and then we'll move on.
Yeah, we had another prediction that you got right Dan, and I think a couple of other people as well that
Of
will
course I got it
have
right.
to. Yeah, we'll have to get on there too. So
Of course. Wait till Bishop dies, and then I'll really get happy. No, I won't. I won't be happy if Bishop dies, honestly. Yeah, go for it, Taylor. Go for it.
for the comments or
Oh, you know what? Let's actually talk about something I got right, which I freaking told you guys. I said, I know you guys weren't paying attention because they butt ass naked, but when she tells Angel,
yeah,
I gotta talk to you. I was like, I've seen a lot of Maury shows. I've seen a lot of Jerry Springer shows. Like, yes. So Nails. First of all, when she goes into the bathroom after Taza's in there, and she throws up, and the door kind of swings open. The
yeah.
first thing I thought of was like, that's a very wide door. I don't know. For some reason, that was on my mind. Like, that's a wide door. That's a very big door. Hank comes in, says, "What's up, girl? What's wrong with you?" And Nails is like, "I'm, I'm just, my life is wrong." It's so high school. Hank doesn't know how to
Hanky
react to
panky,
women.
and he's trying to get in, and it's like, okay, I gotta say,
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's got a thing for her, right? Like,
Yes, he does.
he definitely really likes her, and he actually, I kind of like that we're seeing more of Hank, and we do see more of him in this episode for sure. So she finally comes out and says it. She goes, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and he
Yes.
knows that she's been hanging with Angel, so there's no reason for Hank to not suspect that it's Angel's baby. But Hank doesn't care. He's like, "I'm here for you,"
I don't
and
know.
he's like giving her a hug, and he's like, "This is going to be all right," and making her feel better.
Yeah.
And then we see Hank go to his
mama's
mom's house.
Yeah.
And he wants to have Nails over for dinner. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how that's going to go for Hank, because I don't see him being, happily ever after with Nails. I just don't.
If we're talking about sexuality in this episode, I really thought, like, is Hank a virgin? Like, this is like crazy that Hank, you just never would have thought.
It makes him a little bit, he's got a tough exterior and then a soft interior. So
pulling on the heartstrings,
It was a little, I have to agree with Rolo. He says, I cringed so hard when he said, "I got you." It was a little bit cringy because I just didn't.
Oh, yeah, that was
like, man, boy.
They could have used another line on that one. Sorry, Rico De Niro, if I said that wrong. Angel is the definition of a toxic ass dude. So Nails goes back to Angel's spot, and then Angel just wants another booty call.
Yeah.
And she tells him, like, I'm pregnant. And Angel was a bright spot in this episode, even though he was such an asshole throughout the whole episode. He was right on most of the things he said. But with the Nails and Angel dynamic, you could him looking at his baby's picture in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
And then him finding out he's going to have a baby, knowing that Adelita told him the baby's dead, but the baby ain't dead.
So he seemed to, like, open up to Nails. I mean,
he's happy.
The prospect of fatherhood,
yeah,
is something that he really kind of wants.
He was talking so much shit to Gabby.
Right.
Yet, at the end of this episode, he deep down inside he wants the same thing. Deep down inside, he wants the same. He wants a family. He wants to shit out little golden boys. Like, like he wants that. He's what he did to Gabby was absolutely spot on. What he said, but it was more of him letting out, like, what he wanted, and he was kind of maybe a little bit jealous of Easy on that one. And we'll get to that part. But I will say Nails. So Nails, how does she? Oh man, like, how does she not know that Hank is lovey-dovey with her? Like, how is she not, like...
That's where I kind of am starting to feel like...
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to try to play Hank and Angel against one another now over a woman. I just find that to be like a weak... No, I do find that to be a bit of a weak plot line. So,
yes.
I don't want to see the love triangle thing. I don't want to see them kind of, like, fighting over her. I think it's likely that Hank will step back. That would be probably the best thing for Hank. He could be dodging a bullet there. But Angel, I mean, that his relationship with Nails is not built fundamentally on
No.
love or like what he or really liking her as a person. Their relationship began as
Just banging.
hooking up. Yeah,
Yeah.
just hooking up. So, I mean, does that mean that he's not going to be a good dad? No. It creates a very interesting environment for a baby.
First, and then like he says it himself to Nails. What do you say? You're gonna break up with me? We're not even going steady. We're not even boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting that they're laying. So I'm gonna say this real quick. All right, I'm gonna say this before we get to the comments. I'm gonna give it a 50% chance. I'm gonna give it a 50 because the only thing that I could justify about like a triangle like this is that Angel dies at the end.
Dan, you always think
Angel
someone's
dies at the end, and then Hank really got her. I don't. That's the only way I can justify this because like I don't understand why the writers would bring in Hank for this love triangle so late in the game. There was nothing to really to gain with
Yeah, he would
this.
just occasionally he would ask her like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Yeah,
Like, so I understand. Well, I like that they're trying to bring attention to Hank because he's the sergeant at arms, and I mean,
we
for
know.
the first time, we find out that he I think he stays with his mother.
It seems like he lives with his mom.
I think he stays with his mom. So we're starting to see some development here, but I want to know if maybe Hank is like, hey, I've dedicated my life to the club for so long. I've never really found anyone.
Yeah,
And maybe her being pregnant was not a big deal because he doesn't have kids. So maybe he thought of it as a way to kind of check those boxes in his own life. I don't know.
maybe. I mean, I do appreciate the fact they give us something with Hank.
Yeah, I do.
But my God, like I don't know. Angel's gonna die at the end. 50% chance.
I think the scene where they were all sitting at the dinner
Yeah,
table at
let's do
Felipe's
that,
house.
and
Yeah,
then we'll go into comments for sure. Let's
sure.
yeah go because we're talking about Angel right now. We're
Yeah,
talking
we might as
about
well just continue that.
continue that. We talked about Nails. 1 point for Dan the man on that prediction. I loved that. I love that dinner scene because fuck, Angel was right on the money. I was getting. Listen, guys, I don't hate Gabby like a lot of people, other people do, but her and Easy are so naive, and it really made me like cringe on this episode of how naive they are. First of all, it started off with Gabby, or did I say I meant Easy and Gabby?
Hmm.
It started off with Gabby wearing the mom's apron, and Angel seeing that shit. So, what was your thoughts on that that brunch? What is brunch?
That I have to say,
Brunch
they
scene.
for the lines that they give Angel, Clayton is really good at not just saying those lines, but emoting
Mm-hmm.
those
He's
lines of dialogue.
real.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
real
really good
person.
at
Yeah.
making Angel, like the page on the script,
Mm-hmm.
Angel become like a human being. So I have to give him a
Yes.
lot of credit for that because when he's down and out like that,
Yeah.
I really kind of I feel like I forget watching like an actor. I feel like I'm watching like a
Him.
person,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
feel like I'm
I
watching my
appreciate
uncle.
that. Yeah. So
Uncle Antonio is coming over to dinner. Oh, this motherfucker again. Go for it.
so Gabby has been studying for a while, and she finally got accepted into nursing school, which
Mm-hmm.
her and Easy were really happy about. And
It seems like in this world, everybody becomes a nurse. But if you think about it,
hey, well,
over here in my city, you'll be surprised how many people I know from high school who became a nurse. So it's
all
realistic.
the girl bullies at my high school became CNAs, so that was
Yeah.
something.
That's why when you go to the hospital and stuff and they're not very nice, there's your reason why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were the school bullies.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just kidding. Gabby, you're cool. Anyway, so they're really excited about that. Felipe, he's been doing a bit better. He's taken a back seat this season quite a
Oh,
bit.
I got something to say about Felipe.
Um, Angel not digging the whole let's sit down and have a tea party kind of thing. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like that. He's got a lot of more concerning shit on his mind. Adelita up and left him after he was rejected. You know, he tried to propose to her in not the best way, I gotta say.
No
But that's
Adelita
Angel
this
for
episode
you.
either. No Adelita in this
Nope, no one
episode.
Adelita this season. This episode, I mean.
You can say the season.
I was gonna say this season, pretty
Well,
much.
pretty much, yeah.
Um, and the little episode that he throws when he's making fun of Easy, he's making fun of Gabriella, you know, and everyone just, you feel like everyone just knows to just let Angel get it out of his system and not to interrupt him. You know, I could just feel that tension in the room.
Yeah.
Felipe knows more than anyone, and so does Easy. Like,
That's
just
why he's just sitting back, right?
yeah, just let him do it. So he's like dumping out his beer all over the table, and then he finally storms out. And then Gabriella immediately gets up to try to clean it up. And then Felipe snaps at her to leave it alone, and she keeps trying to wipe it up. And he's like, I said, leave it. And I think what that was trying to convey is, look, she is not responsible for his outburst that he just had, number one. And number two, leaving the spill on the table is kind of just like a symbolic way of saying, this is our family mess on the table. Like, it's not just he poured a beer all over the table. Like, this is our family drama,
great
all out there for you to see. And I think it was a way for her to see, like, okay, if you're involved with Easy, not only going to get the club stuff, you're going to get the family Reyes stuff too.
Yeah, and that shit's more crazier because of how many ties they have.
They have such a long history, and Angel and Felipe, they're never going to get fully back to where they were.
Yeah.
When he was younger. And unfortunately, that's the reality of a lot of parental relationships. Sometimes you see that with a mother and a daughter, or a father and a son, or, you know, there's just always going to be, you can talk to each other and you can be at family gatherings together, but you're just not that close.
Yes. And then, yeah, so right on the observation. That's definitely what that scene was about, or him doing that. Because I was thinking, like, I was thinking why, like he said, you know, we had that line, leave it, and you're
yeah, because you can't fix this, Gabby. This is something that you can't fix. You know, you can try to be, you know, the little homemaker, you know, and the nice girl all you want, but this is something you can't fix.
You're in the worst family possible, because not only are they, I guess a biker gang basically, you also have a cartel involvement. Even if you don't think, even if you don't know, like Galindo is part of that family. Angel said it. You know, why do you want to stay here? Why? You asked the lady who had that apron what happened. You know, he absolutely said it. If you stay here, you know what you're gonna. This is what you're gonna get into, and you think this is gonna be all happiness, rainbows, sunshine. That's a lot of bullshit.
There's like a dark cloud that kind of hangs over Santo Padre and engulfs everyone in it. You know, Bishop's ex-wife, Antonia, she sold the house and packed up and moved. I mean, she could not could not stay and linger in the shadow anymore.
And Bishop
she had
is still
to
here.
escape. Yeah.
He gonna die. If I'm Angel and I'm sitting on a table, I say my speech and then I go, first of all, Gabby, why the fuck did you give me a cup from a beer? Just give me the beer. That's all. I just need the can. I don't.
Oh yeah, my mother-in-law's like that. We'll have like wine coolers at a cookout, and she's like, "Can I bring you out the glasses?" I'm like, "The bottle is the glass."
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry guys, but that kind of like, I was like, he's pouring the beer in the glass. Yeah. I'm like, exactly, Angel. Why'd you give me a cup? Why'd you give me a cup?
I love that line. Like, what is brunch?
Yeah, what is brunch? Yeah, so, and then, okay, I'm going to touch upon Felipe real quick, and then we'll get into the comments, but I got to say, Felipe has taken a big backseat because, honestly, Taylor,
it's going somewhere, though.
There's a 50% chance he might die at the end of the season.
And he'll probably just take it, honestly.
I mean, there is nothing left for this character to do. It's kind of like the flashbacks were easy. There's nothing left for him to do, other to him to kind of like tell Miguel finally tell him the whole truth. The whole truth, because I think Felipe, you know, he's this character's done, guys. I don't think there's really nothing for him there's nothing to write for him. I think he served his purpose. So if he gets written off the show, Edward did a fantastic job. You know, every time this guy is on this, he's such an accomplished actor. this is the seasoned vet I definitely wanted for this kind of series, and he's done a hell of a job. So if they write him out, if he's done, he went out in a high note. He was one of definitely the biggest bright spots of this series. So Edward, man, you did fantastic, man. If I see you at Comic-Con, I'll tell you that in person. So let's get into the chat real quick, Taylor. If you want to pull some of the comments, I got some comments right here too.
Okay.
Let's see. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, Rolo. Good morning, Chris J. Good morning, Restream. Thank you for the notification. Let's see.
I just saw it. Oh,
Paul,
it was
welcome
about
in, Paul.
Jax.
Oh yeah.
It's about Jackson Montez. Where'd it go?
Paul, good guy. Hank, exactly. He's a good guy. Let's see. Rolo. Hank kills Angel.
It was Nightwolf.
Hank's not gonna kill Angel. That's not gonna happen.
Okay, so Nightwolf says Montez finally gonna see Jax in heaven again, and then Jax is gonna roundhouse kick him back down under.
Hell yeah. The little scumbag, huh?
Yeah, shifty little bastard.
That's sad because I really did like Montez, but little fucker was like, double dipping. So.
I told you a couple of streams ago that it was kind of a shock because he was one of the ones handpicked by Bobby Munson.
Yeah.
To leave Nomad and join Redwood to work under Jax because Bobby was at the crossroads where he wasn't sure he wanted to do this anymore. Yeah. He was seeing the club go in a direction that he wasn't comfortable with, but he didn't want to leave Jax behind, and in a rougher spot. So he picked Montez and Rain Quinn, and there's another guy.
Well, it didn't matter. That club is still going.
And that club is shit now, dude. I don't know what's going on.
What the fuck, Chibs? Come on, man. So Kaba, Hank got friend zoned so hard. He did. He got friend zoned.
Who did, Hank?
Yeah, Hank got.
Oh my god.
Hank's getting friend zoned so bad.
I just see okay, so he was setting up, and I think he said he was asking his mom if she could come over for dinner. I think tonight is what he said, if I remember correctly. But then she goes and hangs out with Angel. So does that mean that she didn't show up to Hank's house? Is he gonna?
Was it that night, or was it like he said?
That's
like in
what
a
I can't
remember. Right? I
think
maybe.
In a couple
days, yeah.
Maybe. So
I think that scene is still to come. And
yeah.
I see. I see Angel going to that dinner.
Do you think Hank is gonna be like to Angel? Like, do you really think you're best for her, or
Angel's definitely not. But there has to be something, right? I don't know where this is going.
I don't
know what, it just baffles me that they just put this in.
Try to put a romance in for Hank. With 2
episodes left.
Yeah.
Too many storylines. Way too, and we'll get to that at the end because Taylor wants to know what we thought about the title of the last episode. We'll get to that at the end, and it's going to go into a lot of these storylines, and I can see why a lot of people are upset because they're just. I can get it though that they're trying to wrap up from storylines from last season. Like I said, that if we do get another season, it's gonna be that outlaw shit, I believe. Johnny Diaz says too much potential babies in this show. Cristobal, Lidos, Adelita kid, Angel with nails kid. Yeah, there's a lot of kids coming.
Well, the pregnancy trope is another thing that happens a lot. Mm-hmm. In TV, it's like you get a girl character, and if she even has a slight romantic relationship, the writers are like, pregnant.
Exactly. And that goes for for a lot of TV shows, honestly.
A lot.
And then sometimes real life situations, actresses do get pregnant while they're filming the show, so they got to work around it. I think Scarlett Johansson was pregnant when she was doing Civil War too.
Interesting.
Let's see. You got any comments, Taylor? Let's see.
Oh, a princess probably says Hank can't just can't go around claiming babies though.
I know. What about the next girl he ends up liking? Do you got her too?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think about Princess is did he just wait too long and now he's like, oh, maybe this is my chance to be a dad? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, dude.
I don't know. Alex G, the chapter thing that Bishop said was referring to turning the page. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is that it's not him forming another charter
Yeah.
or having Easy take over or anything like that. It's just more of like it's time to like
Consolidation.
yes, it's time to get rid of all these motherfuckers. I'm the one king. Back to
Hmm.
some outlaw shit.
Yeah. Paul goes, "You get a baby. You get a baby. Baby for everyone."
Randy has a great question. Randy, I can't believe Nestor did not tell Miguel about the tire tracks. He'll be demoted or killed. Let's touch upon that scene a little bit. So because let's get into Miguel
Yeah,
Galindo.
please.
This was a huge thing this episode. I actually really liked it because it was more fast paced. It was finally him learning the truth. There is one part I didn't get though, but the Nestor, yeah, honestly, if you take the maid out of it and you just have Nestor tell him, I think you save time, and I think that's you get more. You still get that impact.
Yeah, so with the maid,
Yes, let's
that
talk
was
about the
interesting.
maid. Let's talk
So
about the maid.
Dita, this conniving bitch, had more plans to set in motion, even from the grave. Like, she
Yeah,
had told the maid that if something happened to her,
yeah.
that that Emily was involved.
Oh yeah.
So here she is at the end of
Technically,
season
she
2.
was though. She was involved. Emily
I
was
know, but
involved,
she
so it's
has
not. It's
always
not a
had to stick up
lie.
her ass about Emily. She's never liked Emily.
Mm-mm.
So when at the end of season
Technically, we don't
2,
like. I don't like
she
Emily.
helped Emily get all that information. Like, not directly, but she
Oh
was
yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
slightly leading her to the discovery of that information so that Emily, and then she helped Emily go to the meeting with the Reyes family so
Yep.
that she could deliver that information.
Mm-hmm.
And at towards the end, it was like, wow, it's like, okay, so is Dita like finally like good with Emily now because she knows that she's about to die? Nope.
Yeah. 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 Right. Was there any indication in season 2 with a conversation with her and the maid? Because I didn't see it.
No, they didn't show anything like that. It's something that happened off screen then
Yeah.
because
And then some people say the maid is kind of getting revenge for being fired.
true that, yeah, that I could
That
see it
could play
go
a
both
part.
ways. I could see it
Yeah.
go both ways. Um, but if there was a pettiness award, Dita Galindo would receive that award.
I couldn't believe what I was watching, honestly. I'm like, this fucking what? What? I was so confused.
Yeah. So
I
then
was
he
like,
goes to
what?
Nestor,
Uh-huh.
and he couldn't even wait to like have that conversation with
I
Nestor. He
like
shows up
that
at
part.
Nestor's apartment.
Okay, so this is the one this was the one thing I was wrong, Taylor. I said that Miguel has to be talking to Emily, right? Which absolutely makes sense that this was the route they took. Makes sense. So he doesn't talk about Miguel or Miguel doesn't talk about Emily about the whole thing yet. He goes to Nestor, and because remember when I said the little hair, I thought it might have been Emily's hair, little curly hair. It was Nestor's hair. Nestor's basically in his boxers. Yeah, he's got a lady there. You're going, ooh, a lady, and freaking, he just straight out says, "Hey, get out of here! I got to talk to my boy Mikey." It's there was cock blocking in this episode as well.
A little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, hit it home, Taylor, because that was an
So
interesting scene.
oh yeah. So he basically shows up unannounced at Nestor's apartment, and he brings up, hey, like, have you seen my wife like around the Reyes's or and my mother around the Reyes's? And Nestor's like, yeah, like all the time, basically. Like that's all they did was go see
Well,
them.
he said not. He said that like, hey, I mean, I just what I've been telling you already. What you already know. That's what I know, basically.
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
So they gave Nestor the chance to be like, okay, now I can get back in the good graces with Mikey because he's been pushed to the side from Alvarez getting the job and everything. So I do not put it past Nestor to just be like, yeah, man, I can tell you all kinds of shit. By the way, when we were there finding your mom's body, there was tire tracks, there was motorcycle tracks, and
Mm-hmm.
it seems like, so you never like told him why does Miguel just okay with everybody not telling him anything?
That's the
Why is
biggest
he
not
okay with
okay moment,
everybody
right?
not telling him
Mm-hmm.
this shit?
It's a cartel. That shit happening, you're dead. I like they're close, but you're dead because you didn't give me the information like that. Exactly. That's just Nestor McGill has to go back to his crazy ass ways, and I hope he just
He will. I
I
just
hope he
don't like
eliminates
how long it
everybody.
takes. Like that's always what happens
Yeah.
with the Galindos. The Galindos take 8, 9 episodes to do something. So you're
Yeah.
just they're gonna go do it, but it's a torture session to sit there and be like, I know where this is going. Can you just fucking get there, please?
That's why.
Because you're taking way too long to do what I know you're gonna do.
That's why I think I mean, they used the maid so they could bring Emily into the fold. But I don't honestly think you need the maid. I think you just need the people who are already
In
there.
reality, okay, so I knew from like season 2, he's gonna find out that it's a homicide. No questions asked. There's
What
no way that
you
any
called it?
coroner
You
would look
called
at
it.
that and be like, yeah, this
Yes.
is a normal way people kill themselves.
It
Yep.
was either going to be McGill answering that phone or Emily, and you called it. You said that
They were gonna
it was going to
God,
happen. It was going to happen.
seriously.
Yeah.
You said that I think it's the clavicle.
The
Is that the
the
little bone? It's
yeah,
like a butterfly shaped bone in your
in the
throat.
throat, because remember, Easy choked the shit out of Dita before they lit her
Yeah.
on fire.
So he finally takes the call, and he
Yes.
finds out that his mom didn't Epstein herself, and now
Yeah.
he's finally gonna do something about it. And it's like, dude, we all knew you were gonna do this. You just took too long to do it. So that's my only
That's what I'm
criticism,
saying.
because you just saw it coming from a mile away.
I think that's the problem with the season is that the problems I had with it was like the pacing sometimes and the editing. The editing, like if you clean up the editing, you have room to just go faster with these storylines.
So he's gonna confront. I see everyone talking about it now. He's gonna confront Alvarez, and you might be right, Dan. Alvarez is probably not gonna make it.
No, yeah. I hope I was hoping for I mean, it was just a hopeful dream that Bishop would die and he would
Hyoid
take over
born.
that charter.
Thank you, Paul. The Hyoid.
Yeah, but it's just there's a lot of people that I think are going to end up be gone at the end of the season. Nestor, I think, might be one of them too, because you just don't you just fucking said your death. You just set yourself to death already by not saying anything. It has to happen. If I'm Miguel, like this dude didn't tell him withheld.
So do you see I still am not agreeing with you on Bishop, but I could see Felipe.
I know nobody agrees with me on Bishop.
I could see Felipe and Alvarez biting the dust. I could see it. I mean, if they want to finally make him do something huge, and you know how they are when it comes to finales and stuff, so I wouldn't put it past him.
My thing is is Miguel gonna not even listen to Felipe before he offs him off, or he sends somebody to kill him? Or does he go to Felipe and he says, no more lies, old man. I want the truth.
No, I would see Miguel wanting to do it himself. And I gotta tell you, I was wildly uncomfortable with that scene with Emily.
So Emily. The one time where, you're just enjoying yourself, and then you say something very stupid because we, the audience, know what's going on in Miguel's head. But yes, that was a very creepy. It was not like rough sex. It was more like I'm planning to kill you sex. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was like I'm gonna get one more time in, and then I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna find out the truth. It was.
It was like hate sex.
No, it was murder intention sex.
He can't stand her. And I was really uncomfortable watching that scene, because it's like she had no idea. Like she thought he was being kinky. And I was like, bitch,
I did not need to see Miguel's ass.
Dick
should have flipped it. I would have liked to see. Oh, yeah. Hey, you started it. I'm just saying. It was. I just wasn't shocked at that. Well, I was like, damn, he's gonna like.
It was really creepy.
Just gonna have a conversation. No, it was sex, and it's the him laying down there, and her not knowing a clue that this guy is not in a good place.
So naive, and
yes, that was so fucking hot. I'm like, oh, your storyline is about to come to an end.
Yep.
It is. I mean, if that's not a we're gonna kill off Emily pretty soon. I'm super interested in how that whole conversation is gonna happen though with Miguel and Emily. Now I'm interested to see what is gonna like how this all unfolds. Her telling about the whole Reyes situation. Like I don't. It's gonna be intense. But I'm gonna say this, Taylor. Before that, so Emily's sister gives the phone to Miguel, and the whole time I was sitting down thinking, what is her sister's purpose in the show?
I
What
know.
what is
She
her purpose?
she they put her in like the first 4 or 5 episodes, really,
Yeah,
and she's tapered off now.
she
So and
does
that's what I mean
nothing.
is like when
Nothing. You
they
could have.
hit a couple points really hard for a couple episodes and then they stop for a bit.
I gotta say, if you take her out of the show, it's still the same shit. It would be more Emily trying to adjust taking care of her son on her own. And then what's the aren't they trying to fix the city? What's going? I don't know. What's going? I don't know what the hell's going on
The
there.
only thing I can think, okay, is like either Emily's sister has an ulterior motive, like blackmail,
Yeah,
or she's gonna try to shit. Maybe he tries to do something to Emily, and her sister tries to save her. I don't know, but
because at
it's one of those things you just have no idea.
this point, useless. Like, don't need the character. She hasn't done really anything but to like maybe like cheer up Emily. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose is. I guess we'll find out at the last 2 episodes. But it's kind of like this episode was another thing in my back of my mind where it was like too little, too late.
Hmm.
Too little, too late. So yeah, I'm super interested though now that Miguel knows. He knows pretty much everything. He just needs to put a little bit more pieces together. This dude's. I think he's. And then you have I call him Bucho, but damn it, how do you say his name? Taylor El Bacaro, Bacano,
Banquero,
Bacaro.
Banquero.
Yes. So you have that situation, Paulo.
I
Like,
probably just said butchered it too.
Bucho. So you have that whole situation. Like, there's just a lot of shit that's gonna happen to Miguel in these last couple episodes. Maybe he gets taken out. Who
Oh, I
knows?
don't know.
Who knows? Maybe they're just trying to wrap up the whole Galindo storyline. Maybe.
Maybe that's not a bad point because I think they know that audiences are kind of fed up with them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
maybe they're trying to find a way to just
I like Miguel. He's growing his mustache and his beard back, so I like if that's happening. I like Miguel, but I agree with everybody that it is a little bit too much with this family bullshit drama.
yeah. All right, so I don't really know what else I can say about the Glindos. It was like kind of short. I hit that point,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, it's hard to predict them because I mean the writers can literally just do anything. Like I said, it's just torturous to sit there trying to work towards the one thing you know they're gonna do.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
pretty much it. So
yeah. There should have been, like I said, cleaner edits, faster pace, punch up the script a little bit. Let's get to the comments and then we'll get into what everybody always loves to talk about is Coco.
yeah.
Let's see. Richard Martinez. Even if the pops in here and there in the future season, we can't lose Edward James Olmos. He's a phenomenal actor, man. I was super happy when he was casted. If they do write him off, I think he did a hell of a job. If you haven't seen American Me, it's a classic. Go watch it. That's he really was hands on in that film. He even got like, if you guys don't know about it, he even almost died for that film. So there's a big old. So go check that out. So Nancy, I think she's referring to Hank. He said that Thursday night, I think was dinner.
Okay.
Jack, Jacko79, welcome in. Nightwolf, welcome in. I would like to see what the Sam Crow Church Roundtable looks like right now. I'm very curious on that one as well.
Yeah, and it's something we probably won't ever find out about.
No, yeah, we'll get into that one too. Let's see. Rolo says, doesn't Happy know the papers he gave them lead to the cartel? So what if he snitched on X? So what if he snitched?
Easy. I think he means
Oh,
easy.
Easy. Yeah. What if he snitched on Easy? Nah, I don't think so. I'm gonna say no on that one. You got any comments you see that you want to tackle, Taylor?
I think we should roll into Coco because I was seeing some comments about Coco and what they think is gonna happen with him. So let's pivot over to him and we can
well,
answer some
well,
people's
Slave Cheek says
questions about them.
why Coco gonna get great minus the G.
Yeah, I think next episode is probably gonna be real dark for him, but
Okay, so I mean, I was wrong about this, but it could still happen. I thought Hope went my OD. I thought Coco, if he lives, he's gonna get clean, and that was a little bit right on that one. Um, this is
surprisingly enough, Hope is smart enough to carry a Narcan
yeah, right.
with her. Yeah,
I felt like it was like a Pulp Fiction kind of scene going on right
yeah,
there.
basically.
This
Letty
is
is pissed. She is not
yes.
having Hope. I love it.
She has great screen presence.
She
The
does
actress
when they use her. Yeah, because look,
really
I
good.
mean, Letty
So
was
eyes,
going down a bad path
those
when
eyes,
when she
yeah.
was younger, but she got Coco got rid of Celia. She started building a relationship with who she thought was her brother, but is really her dad, and that's been a navigation thing for her. And she's staying out of trouble. She's going to school, and now she's seeing her dad slip into what her grandma was doing.
Isn't that what
And
I said, Taylor? I said
yeah,
that the out of the two, Letty has to be the grown up. You know.
yeah. And she is. And she's given him a wake up call. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to stop. And she's like, oh man, what she was saying to Hope was great. She was like, do you love him? Do you really even love him?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
are you going to be able to stay clean? And we do find out that the both of them try to, it looks like they're going through withdrawals and
Mm-hmm.
Hope, probably not going to make it. She's
Going
looking
back
like
to
she can't.
Meth
Yep.
Mountain. Mm-hmm.
Meth Mountain. I think Coco
That's like a
might
Disney
follow
attraction.
her there. It's a possibility, and that is, we're gonna end up seeing another confrontation between Coco and Isaac.
Oh yeah, Coco's gonna kill Isaac. That's
Do you
gonna happen.
think?
Oh yeah, Coco's gonna kill Isaac. I think he is gonna get clean. I think the they set up where Letty's like, oh, because Coco's like, I need her, I need Hope, and Letty's just kind of like, what the fuck? Like I'm right here, I'm the one cleaning up your throw up. So I think he's gonna kind of realize that yeah, she's the one that's gonna help him out. I don't think it's gonna happen next episode. I think it's gonna happen in the season finale, where he's gonna because Isaac's the one that knows he stole the brick.
Yeah.
Hope is there. Hope will probably be dead when he gets there. I think Hope is still gonna die. And then he's just gonna go bonker. He's just gonna like, you know what? I'll fuck this guy. I'm gonna kill this guy right now here. So he's gonna kill Isaac. I think he's gonna kill Isaac. And then
Mm-hmm.
there was, remember when I said, too little, too late. Another moment was in this episode when Bishop finally asked where the fuck Coco is. It seemed like Gilly was kind of like backing him up by saying that he had the surgery or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like he's got his back. But Bishop asking that question is too little, too late. This is an important ass meeting, and
And
we
I
don't.
do find it unrealistic that the
Absolutely,
majority of them has been nonchalant about the fact that Coco has not been present at all, like for any of this. And I just don't feel like that would have happened that way.
I know it doesn't like that's it. The problem is when you have that, right, Taylor? When you're doing that, it pulls you out of the show because you're questioning like, wait a minute, like I've seen stuff, like I've seen this and this shouldn't happen this way. Like there should be questions being raised, and that pulls you out of the show. And like I'm saying, it's too little, too late. Like where was this question earlier? Now, the Coco situation seems like this is Coco's storyline. This is exactly what happened through the whole season with Coco. Is it going to have a payoff? I don't think so, Taylor. Even if he kills Isaac, I'm still a little let down on the Coco storyline
Yeah.
because it seems like this season so far, Elgin James has done a great job. His crew has done a great job. It's a lot, in my opinion. It's moving in the right direction. They have dropped the ball on some stuff, some characters, and this to me, Coco's gonna wake up knowing Hope is not there, get cleaned up. Probably Letty's gonna help him out a little bit, and in the season finale, go check up on Hope or something, or just overall kill Isaac. Isaac made this threat to Coco that he would kill Hope if he didn't get his
Yeah.
drugs. So when is that going to come to play? Is that going to come to play next episode?
Well,
The
I think
finale?
that's why Coco ends up, and we saw the preview clip where it looks like he's tied up and getting beat or something like that. I think Hope runs back to Meth Mountain so that she can get a fix because look, the withdrawals thing is not working for her.
Yeah.
Coco is gonna be like, "Where's Hope?" And he's gonna remember what Isaac said, and he's gonna try to go back,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully to save Hope. I think, yeah, maybe I think Hope is kind of done, and yeah, it looks like things are not going to be good for Coco next week.
I said that if Coco, because if you kill him off, this is the time to do it. He ODs. Since he's not dead, he's probably gonna live at the end of the season. That's my thoughts on that one.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that Coco situation. So we'll see. We'll see. I think he'll kill Isaac though. We'll see. He's definitely going back to Meth Mountain at some point. Okay, let's get into some of these comments. Yes, Emily did think it was rough sex. Uh, let's see. Oh, here's Caden. Caden, I think you called it, buddy. You called the Taza being gay and was with David. See, that scene with Emily and Miguel, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a hate, banging. Either you are both viciously, don't get me vulgar, but it was intense. It was yeah, it was a very intense one, but I don't think that was a little bit too much hate. That was murderous intention sex there, Caden. Let's see. Let's see. We got a lot of Miguel. Emily dies. Probably. I think Emily might bite the dust. What's up, Green Matrix? Welcome in. Slave Cheeks, welcome in. A lot of people on the chat. Please put down your comments if you want to get read. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot of people here. Hank equals Bobby Munson of the Mayans. No,
I don't think so.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
see
think
it.
so. Let's see. Letty always looks deranged. A little bit. A little bit. Coco gets killed by Isaac. I don't see it happening, Randy. I think it's the other way around. Kaden, Dan, they pulled Ibarra patch. You said you found it weird that he wasn't wearing it in Templo in the review. Yeah, so I went back and rewatched it with subtitles. They pulled it. Kachi pulled it, I believe. A lot of people were saying that maybe he joins the Santo Padre charter. Taylor?
It's possible. I mean, I don't think he has yet, but I think there's a possibility for that. If we lose a Mayan member, there's going to be a position open. So, but we did see that. I don't know if they named him, but he's got glasses. He took over Ibarra's spot. He was VP, and I saw that he was wearing the president flash
Yeah.
this time. So they did move him up to take his place, which kind of just like it's a little bit interesting because they complained about the Mayans Santo Padre being corporate like Walmart, and then here they are like factory rotating their own members out. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Yes.
And what I want to know is how fast is the Oscar Ramos death gonna cause them problems, because that happened an episode ago, and this episode you'd think they'd be knocking on their front door like,
I know, right?
hey, I know you killed one of our kings, but we're gonna give you a chance to sit down and make more plans with our own members behind our backs, and then we'll see you guys next week, okay?
Exactly. Well, a lot of people, I guess, a lot of the Mayans said they were cool with Ramos dying. They just weren't cool with Flaco and what's his other name? I can't remember the other guy's name. They weren't cool with those deaths.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I knew that was gonna happen. Just the feel of the show and how they're kind of approaching a lot of the episodes. I knew they were gonna slow it down. It was gonna, and it shouldn't be like that. You should have another fast pace, but these last two episodes have to be fast paced. They have.
And I
to
know
be.
a lot of people wish that there was more than 10 episodes in a season.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine because, look, if we were granted 2 or 3 extra episodes a season, then there would just be 2 or 3 more slow episodes, though. because just
Yeah.
giving you more episodes does not mean the pace is going to increase.
You could
You
definitely
know?
have. Yeah, you could definitely have like. You could definitely have 10 episodes and tell your story. If it's the
Yeah.
script is
And
very
they're still
tight.
keeping it less actiony. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just
I'm not. I don't mind less action is if you have something to tell me, you know. And there
well,
has been,
yeah, like the
yeah.
Taza stuff. Like that's
Hmm.
interesting.
So there's been definitely bright moments, but then there has been like you could have picked that up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into this, and then we're gonna finish it off with because I think we have to have a huge discussion after we talk about Easy and Gabby, and Gabby getting knocked out,
Yeah,
knocked
that's
off.
it. We got to
Oh,
talk to.
out!
Oh,
Oh
she is
shit!
done with. I think that
Woo!
was it for her. I
Well,
think
here's the
she's.
thing, Taylor. It's like I wouldn't. I just wouldn't be shocked if she said, "I'm gonna stay with Easy though. I'm a ride. I love that boy." Like I just wouldn't be shocked. But she should go. That's an absolute. You should leave if it wasn't. And then Easy's arrested and in jail
Yeah,
now. Unless,
yeah. So that was
ugh,
kind of a for as smart as
God,
as a character Easy is. That was a really dumb move.
so stupid, so stupid of Easy. Like this, that was so out of character. He saw the cops outside. He's being a
I know.
high school
I know. It
boyfriend.
was so dumb.
I said it in my review. If you guys ever saw Goodfellas, you need to watch Goodfellas because Goodfellas, the main guy, uh, his wife or his girlfriend at the time gets called names and all that shit. I forgot.
So what now? Now does he have like assault and battery on his record now?
I mean, I don't see why not. Like, and then hey Taylor, so I said that this episode was tackling a lot of issues, but I gotta say the racism in this episode was so cartoony and so just really, hey
I'm
señorita,
I'm glad you
hey,
said that
hey
because
bebe, yeah,
I've witnessed some really stupid situations in real life where I've looked at somebody and I'm like, how are you this ignorant of a human being? Because I've worked in environments where I've seen some shit happen and I've seen some shit said, and I that really just looked so fake and cartoony and
so fake.
like what okay, so like what you would imagine a racist to sound like, it's like the most, I don't know, like I don't even know how to say it.
There are
Because I've
words
heard
that
some
you
really
could use.
disgusting and specific things
Mm-hmm.
being said to some of my friends, and it's way more specific than that. That was like the most generic
So
form of
dumb.
racism. I was like, oh my
So
god.
dumb. Jack made a great point. Easy's gonna be in the prison with the rest of the Mayans who are being threatened. So, is he though? No,
Hmm?
maybe. Yeah. Remember, Easy Records was clear. Oh, here it goes. In season one, Michael Capide says the Mayan with the glasses was president of the Sahirita, Arizona charter. I think I said that wrong. Sahirita. And then Corey says he has seen this kind of racism before. I mean, yes, you hear that
Yeah, we're not
stuff.
saying that
The ex
doesn't happen in real
the
life, but I'm
the
just saying the
execution was
execution in terms of the
bad.
writing, they
Yeah,
could have put some like really realistic stuff, because one of the things that Kurt Sutter said before he was fired was that he wanted to leave the people who were telling the story in control of the story, and that somebody from Kurt Sutter's perspective can't
yeah,
write for Latinos. Like
like a
he just
Mexican
doesn't.
culture
He's
like
not.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, he can't really write that because he hasn't lived that.
they should have got Edward
So
James Olmos on this.
who knows?
They should have
But
got him.
yeah,
They should have
like
got him to do some of the writing, because
yeah, like so we're not denying that that doesn't happen. The execution just seemed like the most cartoony things, because if you're telling this story from the point of view of Latinos, then you're not just you're having like people like me like watch the show too. Like tell us and show us what, I mean, I know because I've
yeah,
witnessed this stuff, but tell people who don't know what that stuff's really like. If you give them a cartoon representation of what people go through,
yeah. That took me out
they're
of
not
it.
going to take it seriously. You know what I
Took me out
mean?
of it. Took me out.
Yeah.
Go watch.
It's going to look like a joke.
Go watch. Go watch Menace to Society and go watch Boys in the Hood, and that's realistic racism
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Even like the color or colors. Go watch Colors, and you'll see that too. Like it was so cartoony, and I was so baffled by it. It's like me going into the ice cream shop and like, hey, big ass Mexican. I'm like, they ain't gonna call me a big ass Mexican. They're gonna call me another word. So it was very very cartoony.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Easy gonna get arrested. Might be with his brothers, fellow brothers over there in prison. It's gonna be interesting how they conclude Easy's story at the end of the season. Gabby, if she stays, she's the biggest idiot in the show. You literally got punched in the face. If that's not fate telling you get out of here without Angel saying it in words, then and that I don't hate on Gabby too much. It's definitely just this episode kind of definitely showcased how naive these two are and how young and how dumb they
Oh
are.
yeah. Yeah. It's a dream that is probably not going to work out. And
Yeah, for sure.
you could see Easy is definitely not the same character that he was 1 season ago or even 2 season ago. So
Mm-mm.
I
That
just
was so out of character.
I
So out
think
of
it's
character.
because he's just going so far into the club that he's losing himself. And I think he realized that when he accidentally elbowed Gabby in the mouth. Like I think he just realized that. Like he is losing control of himself.
Yeah, he's going to the dark side, like one of the commenters says. Okay, so Kobe, Dan Taylor, do you have social media? I have social media. You can find me at dman 80528 on Twitch. You can find me on Instagram at Dan the Man Reviews. Anybody who's new here, please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, guys, before you guys leave, hit the like button so we can get this video tracking. So, because we wanted to discuss this. This is we need to discuss this since we're already just in 2 episodes left. I want to give a shout out to Fog Entertainment. I have his link to his video in the top of the comment section. We need to talk about this, Taylor, and people feel free to comment. You guys need to hear this. So here's the thing, Taylor. There is storylines. I think you said it yourself that said that it's just not going to wrap up. It's probably going to either go to the next season or not. And the ratings to this show is not good. The ratings are not horrible, but they're not good. The realistic side is we may only have 2 more episodes left. And I want to give a shout out to Tyler, who the last episode, episode 10, is called Chapter the Last, Nothing More to Write. That is a very telling title to an episode if I ever saw one. I said in the beginning of this whole thing that this is a make or break season. Elgin James has to treat like it's his last season. And
Because it might be.
This may very well be. So guys, this we have not gotten any confirmation if it was going to be renewed or not. It's pretty much, if you look at the ratings, it's kind of like on the bubble. It's on the bubble. So I'm not saying that it won't be renewed, but you guys got to understand that this is business, and who owns it is Disney over there and FX. And if they're seeing numbers like for a third season, for a show who has a third season and who's changed, the season has changed a lot, and I think for the better. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Taylor, I know you said that it was like below a certain amount of what was it, like under 1 mil or something like that?
So it's been carrying on about I think the average is about a 0.79-ish area. So just under 1 million viewers. And when you kind of enter the sphere of cancellation territory, you're looking at 500,000 viewers per episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we had the Tuesday episode that aired on the 6th of April, that came in at 0.605. So getting close to the 500,000 mark. And then just this last episode that aired this Tuesday was at a 0.79. It hovers up and it drops and it comes back down. I don't know. It's a possibility that they'll go for a renewal. If they do renew or cancel, I think we'll hear that news. If not episode 9, then
Definitely
the
10.
definitely like like the night before a 10 airs, they'll announce if it's canceled or if it's renewed.
I mean,
Um,
that's a telling title. That's a telling title.
yeah. I think the cast and Elgin, I think they know already. Like we're 2
Mm-hmm.
weeks out from the finale now, and
Mm-hmm.
whether it's been renewed or canceled, everyone knows already.
Yeah. So
It's just there hasn't been a press release announcing it yet.
yeah, and the I think we discussed this a little bit. Like it's a lot of factors, man. It's I think one of the factors is because I've seen a lot of people really just kind of tune out on it.
Yeah.
They just not for them, which is fine. I mean, people, if you're not feeling of where the show is going, I mean, I was almost there in season 2, except season 2 finale I think brought me back. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, and it's
Hmm.
sad that this is, I guess, another thing. What I'm going to say, it's too little, too late. They had 2 seasons to help the ratings, to fix a lot of issues. And you see it that they're fixing a lot of it in season 3, but it's too little, too late if it comes to not being renewed. I just hope that a lot of the bigger storylines get settled, if that's the case at the end of the season. I still think they did a great job with this season, no matter what. It's just reality, guys, that TV shows get canceled. That does not mean, though, and I believe that that does not mean that Disney's not going to try to profit on creating another show from this universe. Or maybe you never know. It's so unlikely, but there is things where rights do revert back or they get sold off. It just all depends. So Taylor, I
And
mean,
it all depends,
yeah.
and it's just there's like copyright law and like when you're dealing with intellectual property,
Yeah.
and then there's like actual contracts. So if FX has the property like for First Nine and like Enable and Thomas thing, they have to be doing something with the universe to keep the rights. And if
Mm-hmm.
Mines gets canceled and we go 10 years without another show, who knows, what's going to happen with the property? Like, could it go
Yeah.
back to Kurt Sutter or not? Like, we don't, I just
I think he
don't
would
know
have
what
to be
those
an auction
contracts
for it.
look like.
He
I don't
he
know.
he would probably have to be an. It's kind of like the Terminator rights, where
Hmm.
I think James Cameron bought him back the rights to that, so it could be that scenario. Um, Slave Cheek says maybe COVID happened. I don't think it's not COVID because look at all these
So
other
it seems
shows.
like they tried not to do COVID as, yeah, it seems like they tried not to.
It's more of
And
like
I'm glad
Taylor.
they didn't because I'm living in it.
Yeah.
I've been living in it for over a year now. So I would just really be annoyed if I saw all the mines wearing masks.
No, I think he's trying to say that COVID like hit the production hard, or
Oh, sorry, my bad.
but I don't think that's the case. I think what you nailed it is that there was not enough of advertisement. There's not enough.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake is not putting this on streaming platform. You know, I think they should have done streaming. I think they should have. You
I
released
think it
this on
needs to move
FX.
off the network. I
Yes.
think, I mean, I don't know really what other pull FX has. I
Well, I
mean,
guess
Pose is
Snowfall's
coming.
fine.
Well,
Pose.
Pose is coming to an end. Their final season is coming.
And
Um,
that only had 3 seasons, I believe.
Only, yeah, 3 or
Yeah.
4. And
Yeah.
then Snowfall, I think, just got renewed.
Yes.
And then Breeders, they're in their current season right now. They have What We Do in Shadows is going to be returning for another
I
season.
like the
They've already
movie
been
better.
renewed. I like
Hmm.
that, but they don't really have a lot of pull right now.
Well, look at the TV. The TV network is dying because you can see the similar thing with AMC.
Yeah,
AMC is
and
very
FX
similar.
has always held on to their anthologies. Like they do
Oh,
American
American
Horrors.
Horror Stories,
So they do
another
that a
season.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always do those. And then but then FX really loves to hit the Emmy category of limited series. So every year they have 1 or 2 limited series that they do. But for congruent like or consistent views on the network, I just don't see the network having a lot of life.
Yeah, that, and I don't see them really investing in a show that's making not doing as big of numbers as they wanted.
Well, I think their biggest mistake was shit, just lack of
The
advertising.
advertising.
There's no merch really. I mean, they have
Oh,
a little bit, but it's like the most. It's the all the promo art that was released when the season one was about to come out. They don't do
hmm
anything with that. There's no pops. There's no
yeah. Can you believe that there is no Funko Pops?
the only ones I've seen are custom artists that
Yeah,
do them. That's
yeah. I've seen
it.
those. Yeah, I've seen those too.
Yeah.
Um, that does not necessarily mean that we're not going to get anything else from SOA. I just really feel like if this does end, if this is it,
I would be sad to see this be the death of Mayans,
I
though.
don't want. It needs at least for me. I would like either one more season to
Hmm.
really wrap it up. For if I'm a showrunner, I say we're going to finish everything up in 5 seasons, and then that's it.
So, so two additional seasons, so like five
If
total.
if I was the showrunner, I would want that. But realistically,
Yeah.
if
Hmm.
as a fan, I'd be like, just give me one more and we're good.
And here's the thing: if the network executives like sat down with Elgin and were like, "Okay, can you finish it in 2 seasons?" And I think that would light the fire under their ass to really get everything going. And if you have 20 episodes left to tell your story, I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like you'd want to waste a lot of time on
Well,
filler.
I would even think FX wouldn't even give him 10. I think he'd give him. They would give him 8.
8 episodes?
Yeah, because think about it, Taylor.
Why?
They do this so they could reduce production costs.
Oh, okay.
So it makes sense that they, budget wise, you got 8 episodes to clear to end it. We want to get this over with, basically, because the studio heads are like that. They're assholes like that. They don't really care. They do when it comes to a financial point, but when it comes to a creative point, they really don't care. They just want to, if a show is done, just be done. You know,
Hmm.
if anything, if this season is the last season and we move on from the Mayans, of course, I think they would try their hand at first nine.
I think they would give it some time.
They would give us some time. They get about like
Yeah.
4 or 5 years, maybe like you said, maybe 8.
Yeah. I mean, look, you've got all kinds of other shows. You got how many spinoffs does The Walking Dead have?
Oh
Game of
God,
Thrones is coming back with some spinoffs.
House of
Um,
Dragon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to be like, okay, let's finally give, half of the audience what they've been asking for all these years, and that's first nine. And
So Joe,
but then that would be like a cheesy way to get your get your ratings, you know what I mean?
yeah, I know. Joe, Mayans needs more action and less soap opera. I disagree, Joe. The best example I can give you is Game of Thrones before that season 8 and Breaking Bad. Even the I was gonna say the Shield. The Shield has some pretty good action. Even
Hmm.
Deadwood. Deadwood. There's shows that have like slow episodes. It's all about the interaction. It's all about in like Breaking Bad. I could like sit there and listen to like interactions with all these characters because I'm so invested in what they're talking about. I think you're right though. I think the script should have been a little bit tighter. You throw some action sequences in there, but the most memorable thing I didn't really like about the Sons of Anarchy was a lot of the actions were so repetitive and kind of were the same, and they
Yeah.
had that a little bit on Mayans too. So if you're gonna give me action, it better be some damn good action. I think they did some good scenes in this season, but I don't think that's the problem. I think it's a lot of yes, the script, too many storylines, not advertised the show, too little, too late. But
Hmm.
we'll see how it goes. But just to let you guys, we're telling you this to let you guys know that Mayans has such a real possibility of being canceled. That this ride is probably our last
Yeah.
ride.
And I look, we would love to be chewing these words in like 2 weeks and find out that there's a renewal, but I think it would be unrealistic of us to just not see a little bit of writing on the wall and address it because I don't want anyone to be shocked and disappointed. I mean, you probably will be if it's canceled, but
Mm-hmm.
at least hope maybe we can soften the blow a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm one to not. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not gonna like hold your hand. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm gonna be your guys' president and tell you where the fuck is Coco. he's done. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm telling you guys right now that this is what's probably going to happen. Unless they do have confidence in maybe going into a next season and maybe pushing it, and maybe seeing that there is a fan base for it, and maybe work. They could even like think that, hey, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up story wise, and then we can get into like other spin-offs. Who
Sure. Yeah.
knows? Who knows? But let's lessen the blow for them, Taylor. I'm letting you guys know. Go check out Fog Entertainment's video. He has the play by play. He has a lot of the numbers on there. So thank you, Fog, doing a great job. Hell of a job, man. I know you don't agree with a lot on the season, but a hell of a job over there. And you every time I hear your voice, I just hear Chibs for some reason. So I think that's it, Taylor. I think we kind of nailed it in the head with the nail. Get it, nails or hammer. I did like how Hank's mom's like, what's that one
Right.
girl's name?
Yeah.
Hammer, or
Yeah.
or Ranch.
Wrench. Yeah. That's cute. That's cute.
So yeah, Taylor. I mean, whatever happens, it'll happen. But we'll be covering definitely till the end of this season, and and then we're gonna have a special guest on the finale, which I can't wait. And then I can't wait just for the finale. Honestly, I'm actually very excited to see how they're gonna do the finale.
Yeah, I want to see where this season ends up. The finale of season 2 was just like, what? I need to know if this is going to be the last season. I need to not be left with too many open-ended things.
Yeah.
To where it feels uncomfortable, and that we have so many unanswered questions, and then that kind of ruins the rewatchability for you. So, all right.
I gotta say this though. Alex G says, but Kurt wasn't even really doing anything. Elgin was writing, Kurt was directing here and there. Alex, if you go back to season 1 and you look at the behind the scenes of season 1, if you don't tell me, if you're not seeing that Kurt Sutter did more than that, you have that feeling. You gotta look at that. You gotta look at that behind the scenes stuff.
Before we go, everyone's asking about Chucky, like where he went. I don't know, you guys. Like they have not even explained that.
The
longer they
go,
now we're gonna be on episode 9 next week. Like if there's not an explanation, like that's what you know what I'm saying. It's one of those holes.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. Like we've talked about it on these streams several times that
People
we think possibly there's something to do in real life.
Oh,
like real life that made
offset,
this that made what is his name? Michael Ornstein.
Yeah.
Not be able to make an appearance on the show, but that doesn't explain where the character is in the show, though.
They should at least address where the character is.
So we don't know. We've made theories and speculations, but the show hasn't even told us that. So I don't know.
They even let you know where Potter was, in just one.
Yeah, he screwed off to San Diego. They made pretty much. Yeah.
But I want to thank all of you guys.
Yes, thank you guys.
I know we didn't get to a lot of comments this time. We had a lot to talk about, and we wanted to let you guys know where the ratings were at. I know you guys were asking a lot about that. So just be prepared. Dan the Man and Taylor is here for you. Even if this is all done, you still have. I mean, I hope you guys stick around for the channel, but I still have movie reviews, TV reviews, all that good stuff. And then I will cover a lot. I have a lot of SOA stuff planned for the future, but I definitely want to finish off the Mayan season, and see where that's at. And then we'll have a cast, Taylor. We'll talk about whether this gets renewed or not when the announcement comes out, and then we'll really dive into it. And then see what the future is. Predict what the future is, basically, on that one. But thank you guys. Be sure, if you guys are new, swing over or subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. Make sure before you guys leave a like on the like button. Let's get it generating. Let's get these out there. Let's get some buzz. And once again, thank you, all of you. I want to thank Taylor. Thank you, Taylor, for once again joining me. We got 2 more episodes, so it's gonna be a wild ride, Taylor. But we're riding together. Yeah, we're riding together, but I'm in a little sidecar. You're the one that's
Yeah,
wrong. But
okay.
I'll
I
give.
won't dump the bike. I promise.
I have bad eyes, so you got it. You
I wear
got this.
glasses too. I'm looking for real four eyes over here.
First of all, I'm Coco. I have a blind eye right here on the left side.
Dang.
So I know, right?
All
But I'm
right.
still a
Can I have the
badass.
training wheels on the bike?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. I'm Dan the Man, aka Daniels.